Hello again, future doctors and medical technologies. So welcome back in MLS 406. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the introduction to law, no? So ano nga ba ang law? Okay? So ay mali yan siya na ano. Yan, introduction to law. Okay? So we will talk about sa mga batas dito na related sa to ano as medtech. But before we talk about those related laws guys sa medical technology profession, I want to give you an idea kung ano nga ba yung mga persons involved in making a law, no? Ano nga ba yung law para makasabot mo. Okay? So in law guys, no, sa batas, we have three branches of the government. Okay? They are co-equal, no? Co-equal means say co-equal, kasi pantay-pantay sila no in terms of power, in terms of importance, okay? And they coordinate, di ba, with each other. They are coordinate branches, guys. Ibig sabihin, a law will not become a law if dili siya moagi dire sa tulo. Okay? So, tulo na sila with the executive, legislative, and judiciary. Okay? Remember ha, itong tatlo, they are equal in power. Okay? And in importance. So, let's talk about first the executive. Okay? When I say executive, they are tasked with the duty of enforcing and administering the law. So basically guys, no, they are not the ones who makes the law, but rather they are the ones who enforce and administer the law. Ibig sabihin, sila yung mga tao na mag-declare, no, na I hereby declare this law effective today. Ibig sabihin, ang taong yun is the President of the Philippines. So si President guys, no, ang current President natin ngayon si Marcos, ibig sabihin, lahat ng law na magawa ng legislative, okay, will be approved by the President and then will be enforced by the President. Nga na siya. So as the President of the Philippines, meron siyang 6 years term and he is not eligible for any re-election. Okay? So yan yung sa executive natin. If you guys are wondering, sir, how come si President Marcos, yung papa ni Marcos, no, is naging president siya for 20 years. Okay? That one is because under sa martial law. So remember guys, no, when martial law was declared way before, okay, hindi naman si Marcos ang gumawa ng batas. Okay? Ang gumawa ng batas noon is the legislative niya, yung mga senators niya that time. So, ibig sabihin, mga senators niya that time, kayo yung sila, Enrile, no, yung katong tiguang good guys, no, yan si Enrile pala, by the way, guys, is, kalaro pa yan siya ni Adan nung unang panahon. Okay? So, with all his knowledge, he developed, no, he devised the martial law. No, ngayon, yung martial law na yun, sa sobrang daming loopholes, no, it allows the current president that time, no, na nag-administer, nag-enforce ng particular martial law na naggawa ng legislative niya to be president for almost 20 years, no, or more than 20 years. Basta yun yung range, 'di ba? So, hindi ko magets bakit we say martial law, ang sinisisi nila na gumawa daw is si Marcos. But hindi hindi president po ang gumagawa ng batas. Siya lang nag-enforce and administer. Okay? Because the one who makes the law is the legislative. Okay? So ang legislative natin, they are the lawmaking bodies. So under legislative guys, no, na tawag yan, branch of the government, we have two, no, chambers. The Senate as well as the House of Representatives. Okay, the Senate guys is 24 senators na sila tanan, and then ang pinaka higher up sa kanila is what we call the Senate President. Okay? 12 na sila guys every election. Okay? So, for example, ito siya yung mag-election ngayon. Yan, election. Yung remaining 12 guys will be as is. Okay? After naman ng certain term, no, itong nag-election na naman ito, sila naman na maging as is. Yung as is last time, sila naman ang mag-election. Okay? So, yan yung for the Senate. For the House of Representatives guys, no, it is headed by the Speaker of the House. Okay? So, here, involved dito guys is yung mga tawag yan, isang tao, no, yung Speaker of the House natin, siya yung mag-represent ng concerns po ng mga different lugares dito sa Pilipinas. So, example, concern ng lugar ng Region 11, ng Davao City, hingga na meron tayong representative. That representative now will talk to the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House will present the concerns sa legislative. The legislative now will try to make a law, no, in line, no, with the concerns of those particular representatives, and then pass it to the president. Then the president will decide if i-pabor siya sa law, no, if i-enforce niya or i-administer. Okay? But once again, House of Representatives guys, no, we only have one, no, head na Speaker of the House, and then more than, okay, not more than 250 representatives. Here in the legislative guys, no, if the president has the task or power to enforce and administer the law, the legislative guys has the power to propose, enact, amend, and repeal statutes. When I say statutes, guys, no, ano yun sila? It refers to the Republic Acts, no, yung mga batas. Okay? So, to propose, so they are the ones who make the law and act, no, regarding sa law na gusto nila, ano, ito yan, i-gawin, amend, no, yung amend certain law. Let's say, for example, may mga batas na nagawa, tapos, dili na angkop sa panahon natin ngayon, no, they can really amend that, no, parang make changes with that particular law. And then repeal. Say repeal, ibig sabihin, i-abolish, no, or tanggalin yung particular law na yan. Okay? So, those are the powers ng ating legislative. Okay? So, the last branch or the third branch ng ating government is we have the judiciary. Okay? The judiciary. So, sa judiciary, guys, no, if ang ating legislative are the ones who make the law, okay, they are the lawmaking bodies, the judiciaries are the ones who interprets and apply the law in actual controversies. So basically, this judiciary, guys, are your mga judge, okay, mga lawyers natin. Okay? So they are the ones who interpret certain laws, no, na applicable sa kaso. For example, if as person is complaining about yung parang dumi sa tubig sa kanilang lugar, no? So the particular law na gagamitin ng judiciary dyan would be the Clean Water Act. Okay? To accommodate yung concern ng ating civilian, ng ating yung the case in question. Okay? So mas yan dito, guys, sa judiciary, meron dito na involve yung mga civilian tayo, no, mga tao, no, pagkasuhan tayo, sa judiciary tayo haharap. Okay? Here, remember sa judiciary, we have the Supreme Court, which is headed by the Chief Justice with 14 associate justices. So, ibig sabihin, ilang tao sila lahat? 15. So, the Supreme Court has 15 people na nandyan. Okay? So, meron powers ang ating judiciary. Okay? Judiciary power is to settle actual controversies and to determine whether there has been grave abuse of discretion on the part of any branch or instrumentality of the government. So basically, guys, no, for example, kinasuhan ka, merong kaso in question, merong case in question, the judiciary now will try to settle, no? Ano niya yan siya, asikasuin or ipagkasundo yung mga may problem doon, no? In relationship yapon sa mga laws na nagawa. Okay? Because meron tayong tinatawag na judicial review. So judicial review, guys, dito papasok yung kasi 'di ba, may mga batas tayo na old na dili na applicable today. Ngayon, if merong case na relating to that particular law, tas makita ng judiciary ngayon, napansin ng judiciary na, uy, this particular law na nagawa dati is dili na applicable karon na panahon, it will now make, no, consider or test or propose ngayon sa legislative to amend. Remember, the judiciary cannot amend the law, 'di ba? But because napansin ng judiciary na dili na angkop ngayon yung particular law na yon, no, it will now make, no, a proposal sa legislative, and then the legislative will do the amendment, no, or repeal kung ano ba yung based sa proposal ng judiciary. Okay, so the judicial review, guys, remember, they have here to test the validity of executive and legislative acts considering their conformity with the Constitution. So ibig sabihin, ang makapansin ng mga mali sa mga batas na nagawa ng unang panahon is the judiciary. Okay? So, very crucial jud ang judiciary, guys, no? And that's why bright na silang tanan. Siyempre, lawyers man na sila. Okay? So, we have a hierarchy of the Philippine courts, guys, no? Kaya, diba, so we all know the Supreme Court holds 15 people, 1 Chief Justice, and then 14 Associate Justices. So, here, we have the Supreme Court, and then marami yan siyang branches pa. Okay? Those branches, guys, no? Kasi ganito yan, sir, lahat ba ng kaso is mapunta sa Supreme Court? No. If the case can be solved in the circuit courts, no, mga circuit trial courts, then dun pa lang hindi na aabot yan ng Supreme Court. Okay? But if the case is so heavy, so severe, so difficult to solve, it will now be transported to the Supreme Court, no? But it will take time. That's why if mapansin niyo, guys, merong mga kaso na masyadong matagal pa before nakapunta sa Supreme Court. Okay? So, yan sila yung ating mga judiciary branch. Okay? So, since we have 3 branches, 'di ba? 3 branches ng government, so there should be a separation of powers. Okay? So, ang ating separation of powers, check and balances, ang nandito is to give a detailed, 'di ba? A detailed division of the 3 branches. Okay? So, let's check, no, kung ano yung sinabi dito ni Belgica Ochoa. So here he states that less opportunity for abuse of power which now avoids concentration of power in one branch, which may lead to an abuse of other branches or citizenry. Okay? So, since mayroong separation sa power ng three branches natin, guys, no? So, malabo talaga na ma-abuse nila yung power nila. Okay? So, ano yung mga case, guys, na only one branch of the government lang yung may power? So, example dito is the North Korea. Okay? Yung kay Kim. Yun yung basta si Kim. Okay? Sa North Korea, guys, no? Si Kim lang yung merong power. Okay? Siya yung batas. Siya yung dictator. Okay? Ibig sabihin, lahat susunod sa kanya. Siya ang gagawa ng batas. Siya pa ang mag-enforce ng batas na nagawa niya. So, makita niyo kung gaano yung kapabor-pabor. Di ba? Kay pwede siya magawa ng batas na allow lang, babae lang pwede magtrabaho ng ganito or lalaki lang pwede magganito or at ganitong edad dapat ang mga lalaki kay mag-military na, which is yun yung ginawa niya talaga. So, ibig sabihin, pabor yun sa kanya. Okay? So, in the Philippines, since we have three branches, yung powers nila, guys, no, sabi ko, they are co-equal, and then co-equal in terms of power, as well co-equal in terms of importance. Okay? So, sa legislative, guys, they are the ones who make the law, no, power to make law. And then yung law na gawa nila is enforce or enforce or administered by the president, in which in this case the executive branch. And then the power to interpret the laws that being made by the legislative, guys, is the judicial. Okay? So, equal yung power nila because, let's say for example, may ginawa na batas, i-enforce yung batas, and then during trial and certain court sessions, no, if the judicial found out that the particular law na nagawa is not, hindi na siya valid or hindi na siya angkop sa certain situation natin, the judicial branch now can make a judicial review and make a proposal na ipa-change yung law. Kasi nga, ganito, ganyan, din angkop ngayon, or whatever the reason is. Okay? And that particular law na gipa-change, no, na binigyan ng revisions ng ating legislative will now be reinforced again, no, by your executive, and then will be now interpret again by your judicial. Ingana siya, guys, no. So, if kilala niyo si Robin Padilla, guys, no, actually okay naman yung gusto niya mangyari, no. I don't know if you both for him during the election, but yung si Robin ba, si Slay in the Evening, yung ganun good. So, siya, ang gusto niya is that, di ba itong three branches na to, guys, itong tatlong branch na to is, nakahati yan siya, di ba? Nakahati yan siya sa buong Pilipinas. Tama? Sa Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Okay. In this particular, guys, no, all three branches is located sa Manila. Okay? Sa Luzon. Ngayon, ang gusto ni Padilla is that magkaroon ng legislative, no, merong legislative sa Mindanao, Visayas, and Luzon. Separate sets of senators per place. So, mangyari dyan, kung problema ng Mindanao, ang mag-solve is ang mag-make ng batas is yung legislative ng taga Mindanao. Parang ganun siya. Okay? The only loophole na makita ko, guys, no, regarding sa suggestion ni Mr. Padilla, na senator, is that we only have one president, Manggod. Kahit na may batas na ginawa dito ang taga Mindanao, the president needs to sign or approve talaga. So, pupunta na naman siya ng Mindanao. Tapos, what if meron na namang gawin ang taga Manila, pupunta na naman siya ng Manila. Parang ganun siya. Now, whereas, kung concentrated dito lahat yung ating, itong 3 branches, automatic, if ever na merong merong magawang batas man, maperman agad ng president if approve sila. Okay? Kaya gani meron tayong House of Representative, di ba? Kasi yung mga representatives sa mga lugar na to, yan sila, no, they will communicate, and then si Speaker of the House na ang mag-inform sa Senado or sa Kongreso. When I say guys, Kongreso or the Congress, it is dyan papasok yung ating mga senator sa legislative na siya. Yan, Kongreso. Okay, so I hope naintindihan niyo yung separation of powers, no? And kung bakit kailangan merong ganun para hindi maabuso. Okay? So, alam na ninyo yung mga tao na involved in making law, no, the branches of the government, as well as kung sino yung mga ano yung mga power nila, di ba? So, let's talk about the law itself, no, the definition of law. Okay, so this definition of law is a very book based na definition. Okay, but when I say law, it is a rule of conduct, just and obligatory, laid down by legitimate authority. So, sino nga yung mga may legitimate authority dito? Yung ating mga branches, no? The government. For common observance and benefit. Benefit of what? Benefit of the people. okay, of the people of the Philippines, okay, benefit of the civilians, and benefit of all people in the Philippines. So, tandaan nyo guys, the law is made for the people, okay, yan yun, the law is made for the people, for the benefit and good of the people, okay. So, yung mga law na nagawa guys, di ba, meron yan silang mga sources, okay, so, ito sila. So, for the sources of law, no, meron tayong tinatawag na 1987 Constitution. The 1987 Constitution, guys, is the supreme law of the land. Okay? So, yung 1987 Constitution na yan is, nagawa siya noong 1987. So, anong component niyan, sir? Component niyan, guys, is yung mga cases nung mga nangyari dati, no? Ano yung mga historical cases, historical events that made the Philippines, or made the lawyers in the Philippines, or the Supreme Courts in the Philippines, and the legislative to make certain laws because of those particular cases. Yan yung nandiyan sa 1987 Constitution. Okay? So, meron tayong tinatawag na judicial na decisions, no? Which apply or interpret the Constitution and the laws. So, ibig sabihin, guys, during certain case, no, let's say, for example, merong kaso, merong case. If that particular case, guys, tawag yan, is related siya or kanang nai-resemblance no sa historical cases na nandito ngayon sa ating 1987 Constitution. Okay? If related sila guys, no, and the judiciary can make decision based on the 1987 Constitution. Yan yung tinatawag natin na jurisprudence. Okay? Jurisprudence refers to the judicial decisions which apply or interpret the Constitution and the law. Okay? So, meron din tayong tinatawag na doctrine of stare decisis, no, which obligates courts to follow historical cases when making a ruling or similar case. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, na kung saan yung mga historical case, no, sa sobra ka historical ng case na yan, sobra ka extreme na naabot na ng Supreme Court, no, napaloob na yun siya sa 1987 Constitution. Okay? So ngayon, if your particular case, guys, no, if the particular case in question is similar, very, very similar sa old cases, guys, dito papasok si doctrine of stare decisis. Ibig sabihin, before mag-make ng decision ang Supreme Court, no, it will try to review, no, what are the similarities of that particular historical case to the recent case na presented. Ngayon, if napansin ng judiciary na, hala, itong historical case na to and this recent case, oo, they might be similar, but since mas nasa recent generation na tayo, di ba, may mga times na, for example, ang nung nasa old na kaso is talking about a mobile phone, yung mga 3315 pa, yung mobile phone with touchscreen, with kanang keypad, yun yung gihampas sa kanya or something na ano. That particular case, guys, no, although it have a resemblance sa today, unsa may hampas sa mga iPhone 15 Pro Max, no, titanium yun. Though they are similar, they are mobile gadgets, di ba? They are mobile gadgets. However, the quality, no, of the mobile phone is different. So, ngayon, the judiciary will make a proposal sa sa ating legislative to make amendments of the particular law na tackle doon sa particular na scenario na yun, no. Parang pwede nila i-change na from a certain phone to all mobile devices that can connect to the internet. So, ibig sabihin, because of the certain case na nakita ng judiciary, pwede ngayon makamake na proposal to change certain laws. That's why, guys, hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin mga batas na na-amend. Okay? Or meron ganang ibang batas na tinanggal na talaga kasi napansin nila na yung batas na yun is dili effective or kanang wala ko'y pulos. Okay? But balik tayo dito sa source ng law natin. So, when the court, okay, follows historical cases, guys, no, ang tawag dyan, doctrine of stare decisis. Okay? And under dito is the jurisprudence. Okay? So, the jurisprudence, once again, is a judicial decision which apply or interpret the Constitution. Anong Constitution yun? 1987 Constitution. Another thing, we have the customs and tradition have the force of law only when acknowledged and approved by society through a long and uninterrupted usage. Okay, here, guys, no, whether we like it or not, no, another source ng law natin is yung mga traditions. Okay? So, ano siya, guys, yan, may mga batas tayo na nakabase sa traditions ng mga tao. Okay? So, dapat it should be accepted or approved by the society before siya maging batas. Okay? Another source ng law is the legislation. So, obviously, source siya ng law because the legislation, guys, is the one who makes the law, diba? They are the law-making bodies. Okay? And then last, we have the international laws and customs. Okay, so, So, international laws and customs, guys, no, naging source siya ng law because, let's say, for example, merong mga situation or mga particular case na ma-present sa Supreme Court na bago masyado. Let's say, for example, ganito. Ikaw, nakabili ka ng Tesla na car. Yaman, no? Kabili ka ng Tesla na car, and then yung car mo ngayon, di ba, wala yan sa Pilipinas pa. So, it uses supercharge, di ba, yung kuryente na lang. So, ngayon, nag-charge ka sa bahay nyo, yung bahay nyo nasunog because of that car, and then yung neighbor mo, nasali nasunog yung bahay nila. And then the neighbor now will sue you because of your Tesla car, because of arson na nangyari because of your Tesla car. Now ngayon, since the Tesla is very new in the Philippines, what will the Philippines do? They will try to adapt or check for international laws. Diba? Tatanungin nila sa US, oh, how do you deal with this? How do you resolve this? What are the charges? Ingana siya, guys, no? Kasi yun yung particular na lugar na merong ganyan, 'di ba? So, yan yung mo nang pasabot dere, guys, no? International laws and customs. Okay, they will ask the countries na connected sa atin kung paano nila i-resolve yung mga particular cases na yun. So, that is just an example, ha? Marami pa. Okay? So, next, since these are the sources of law, we're going to talk about now how a bill becomes a law. Okay? So, how does a bill becomes a law? First, a lawmaker files a bill. Sino nga yung lawmaker na yan? The lawmaker here is the senator. Okay? So, si Robin Padilla. Okay? So, if you can see, no, in order for a bill to becomes a law, it undergoes first reading, second reading, di ba? Murag, misa. Okay? So, sa first reading, guys, no, the bill's title is read in plenary sessions and referred to the appropriate committee. So, ngayon, guys, no, sa first reading pa lang, ipapapansin niyo yung mga laws natin. Let's say, for example, the RA 5527, meron yun siyang title. The title should be clear and understandable. For example, RA 5527, the Philippine Medical Technology Act of 1969. So, sa title pa lang, klaro mo masyado kung sino yung target ng mga tao. 'Di ba? We have the medical technology, no? The medtech. Isang lugar in the Philippines. Kailan nag-start? 1969. Klaro siya, 'di ba? Dito pa lang chine-check na yung title. Kung hindi maganda yung title, guys, surely first reading pa hindi yan papasa. Okay? So, kung title mo, it's late in the evening, what you may tabo, 'di ba? So, dili dyan nakapasa. Okay? So, here in the first reading, guys, scrutiny through public hearings where arguments by advocates and those in oppositions are heard. Okay? Sa first reading pa lang, guys, no, meron ng mga tao, no, na magkaroon ng public hearing, guys, na will talk about that particular bill, no, kung dapat ba siyang ipasa. Okay? So, dito papasok kung sino yung mga magkaroon ng debate kung sino yung mga naga-against and kanang approve, no, sa particular law. Let's say, for example, sa divorce, no, papasok dito yung mga tao, they will have a public hearing sa regarding sino yung mga gusto ng divorce and sino yung okay lang na wala mong divorce sa Pilipinas. Nga na siya. Next, preparation of committee report and submission to the floor for the second reading. So, if the title is okay, and then meron narinig na yung mga arguments by the advocates and those in positions, di ba? Though, the committee will now file will be making or preparing a report. And then, isubmit na niya for second reading. Ngayon, sa second reading, guys, dyan papasok yung ating sponsorship. Which here, in the sponsorship, no, it states that presentation of the essential and salient features of the bill and underscoring of the rationale. So, sa second reading, guys, no, dito na banda ipipresent kung ano yung mga particular features ng particular law na yan, kung sino mag-benefit, ano yung mga features ng law, 'di ba? Sino yung mag-benefit, bakit ganun, bakit ganyan, bakit ginawa yung batas na yan. Diyan papasok sa second reading 'yon. Okay? And then under the second reading, we have the interpellation, no? When say interpellation, guys, it is a description or an identity given to someone or something. So dito, guys, no, the lawmakers will debate over the bill. Kung ano ba talaga yung bill na yan, no? Para saan ba talaga yan siya? Okay? And then here also we have a committee and individual amendments, no? 'Di ba? Nagka-debate sila. So if a particular debate, guys, no, while the particular debate is ongoing, guys, there will be some amendments sa particular sections na under sa bill na gina-present. So ibig sabihin, those amendments will be now it might be committee or individual amendments, no? It will be taken into writing. Okay? So once na okay na yung mga amendments na yon, yung mga pag-usap-usap nila, guys, no, it will now be proceed, no, to the third reading. In the third reading, there will be printed copies of the bill, no, that will be distributed to the members. Once passed, transmitted to the chamber for concurrence. So sa Supreme Court na to sila, di ba? We have two chambers, okay? Two chambers of the legislation, the legislative, the senators, and as well as the House of the Representative. Okay? So once passed, the enrolled bill enacted by both houses of the Congress and certified by its official and is transmitted to the office of the President for consideration. So once na na-approve na siya ng ating legislative, guys, it will now go to the executive branch. Okay? So ganun siya, guys, no. Yung printed copy dito, guys, is 'di ba may mga amendments man yung kanina, kung meron man. Lahat yun sila ma-take into account, tapos magkaroon sila ng final revision, and then magprint na ng copy. Dili jud maka-proceed na maging batas basta walay printed copy, guys. Okay? So ngayon, since the president now will check the law, no, the bill, para malaman niya if i-approve niya or hindi. Okay? So the president now has the power, 'di ba, to pass the bill or reject. So the president's options, he or she may sign and pass the bill. So in this case, the bill is assigned with Republic Act number and becomes a law. So the president can also veto, no, the bill. When say veto, guys, it refers to the rejection, no. It refers to authoritative rejection. So ibig sabihin yung rejection niya is under the law. Okay? So ibig sabihin he refused to sign, and then the bill is sent back to the House of Representatives, no. Hindi lang siya basta-basta no, ayoko, hindi ko gusto yung bill, no. But rather, he will also pass the reasons for the veto. So the president will now reject and veto, no, the particular bill, and then ibigay po niya kung sa mga reasons. Okay, ngayon, if ever na both houses of the Congress, na yung dalawa, the Supreme Court and the House of Representatives natin, decide that the bill or any of its vetoed provisions, kasi ganito yan, guys, yung particular bill na yan, di ba may mga sections yan, okay, may mga provisions yan kung sino yung under doon, ano. Ngayon, hindi mo ganyan siya as a whole ni President, no? Merong mga batas na as a whole gina-veto ni President, and then merong mga batas na parang may parts lang doon hindi pwede. So, ibabalik yan doon for revisions. Ngayon, if both houses of the Congress decided that the bill or any of its veto provisions should still become a law, no, they will hold a vote. Okay, so magboto. If 2/3 of the members of both houses voted for the support of the bill, no, if the legislative, no, magboto sila, if 2/3 ang nanalo, the president's veto is overridden. So, ibig sabihin yung veto ng president will be overridden. So wala joy paki sa kung nag-no ang president, the bill becomes a law gyapon if 2/3. That's why 12 na siya, guys, no, para there will be an unbiased na sa Senate. So kung mag-against yung 12, tapos nag-against yung 11, tapos the rest is nag-approve na okay lang, tawag yan, tama rin yung decision ni president na based sa reason niya, no, tama lang na hindi mo na maging batas itong particular bill na to. So the bill will not become a law if ganun. But if it is the opposite, no, let's say 13 yung nagboto, tapos dapat 2/3 man. So if more than half or 2/3 yung nagboto ng yes na hindi dapat ipa-law yun siya. So the president's opinion or veto will be will not be considered. Okay? So, meron din another power ang president, which is, okay, bigyan ko na emphasis ha, itong packet veto to the bill, guys, no? Packet veto to the bill. Based sa recent na butang, it may not be anymore, effective, no? Hindi na siya kaayo ginagamit karon, no? Depende man guna sa particular bill na ipapasa. Okay? So hindi na siya angkop sa panahon ngayon, okay? Here in packet veto, guys, the president may do nothing with the bill, and the bill automatically becomes a law after 30 days while the Congress still in session. Let's say, for example, there's a particular bill or particular law that needs to be passed kasi need ng country natin. Kahit walang president na mag-sign or kahit ayaw niya mag-sign or gusto niya mag-sign tapos wala siya dito, guys, no, the bill becomes a law. Mag-get so far? It's because they can packet veto the bill. Ngayon, ang packet veto, mga good guys, pwede rin na hindi lang talaga signan ng president, no? Kasi sa ibang bansa, ang packet veto sa kanila, kapag allowed ang president na mag-packet veto, I think certain number of times or isa ba? Basta hindi niya na talaga signan yung bill na pinasa. And then, pag hindi niya signan, ibig sabihin, the bill will be rejected. Yung ana. Okay? Meron din yung mga packet veto, guys. Like, for example, in this case, no, the president may do nothing with the bill, but the bill becomes automatically a law after 30 days. Yung ana siya. So, whether he like it or not, no, magibatas talaga yung particular law na yan. That's why, he should, tawag yan, pag gusto niya yung law, sign. Pag gusto niya yung bill, sign and pass the bill. Pag ayaw niya, veto the bill. And then, bigyan niya ng reasons kung bakit ganun. Okay? So, next topic is yung ating parts of the statutes or the Republic Act. So, ang Republic Act is, in this particular case, guys, gusto ko lang talaga na malaman ninyo ang mga, ano ba yung mga tawag yan? Mga nandyan, no, sa ating Republic Act. Kasi, kung titingin kayo ng batas, lalo na in this case, I'll be sending you handouts or mag-download kayo ng mga topics natin, diba? Meron talaga itong mga terms na to. So, para hindi kayo mga mawala, okay, explain ko yan siya sa inyo. Okay? So, number 1, we have the title. Gaya na sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, sa first reading pa lang, if hindi maganda yung title, it will be rejected, no? Or, sabi sila, you revise. Okay? So, the title is the general subject matter of the legislative measure. Okay? So, dapat klaro siya, guys, no? Ano yung para sa kanyang batas na yan. We also have the enacting clause. So the enacting clause, guys, is is the constitutionally required portion of the bill which formally expresses the intent that it becomes a law. So kanapos na yung enacting clause, guys, kaya dito nakalagay kung sino yung mga tao na nag-start, okay, na nag-decide na, oh, let's make this bill, So here, ang enacting clause natin would be ang mga tao na involved dito would be the senators, 'di ba? The House of Representatives, 'di ba? Kasi sila man yung mga mag-make ng law. So sila talaga, ibig sabihin sila yung nag-start ng law, 'di ba? Na yan. So dito nakalagay yan diyan yung mga senators natin. Sige lang, I'll give you an example later on para malaman yung ginasabi ko. Okay? We also have the body, okay, which contains the provisions of law, no? When we say provisions law, yung mga sections na nandiyan. And then we also have the proviso, which provides for a qualification to the operation of a particular provision of law. So, ibig sabihin, here, makikita mo talaga dito yung mga people na involved. Okay? So, let's check for the example, no? I think example naman yung sunod dyan. Okay? So, here, ito yung title, diba? The title of the RA 5527, we have ito, Philippine Medical Technology Act of 1969. Klarong-klaro, diba? And then, enacting clause niya is tignan nyo, the Senate and the House of Representatives of the Philippines. Klaro yung sinabi ko, di ba? Dito sa enacting clause, kung sino yung mga nag-start or sino yung mga tawag yan na nagpasimuno ng batas na yan. Okay? The Senate and the House of Representatives. Sa provision naman, guys, gaya ng sinabi ko dito ibigay yung ating sections, di ba? So, particular section 12, yung mga content, the body. Okay, sa proviso, guys, in particular sense, no? It refers to the persons na involved, kung sino talaga yung merong power sa bill na pinasa. For example, in RA 527, dito sabihin kung sino mga may power. So, tingnan natin, no? The President shall have the power to suspend such member under investigation and appoint a temporary member in his place. Ibig sabihin, in RA 5527, ang may power dyan is the President. Siya lang yung pwede magtanggal ng board member natin, council of the board, okay, Council of the Medical Technology Education, siya. So, si President po ang mag-appoint kung kinsa man na sila. Okay, yung mga tao na dapat nandyan. Okay? So, yun yung ating proviso. Okay, so I hope na nag-gets ninyo to, guys, no? So, let's talk sa next slide natin. So, for the next slide, we have the repealing clause. Okay? So, ang repealing clause, guys, no, para mas masabtan ninyo, kay siya, tawag yan, dito, all laws, decrees, executive orders, rules, and regulations inconsistent with the provisions of this act are hereby repealed and amended or modified accordingly. So, kapag titingin kayo ng batas, let's say, magtingin kayo ng particular na RA, no, Republic Act. Kung titingnan nyo yung repealing clause, pag makita nyo dyan, ang makikita nyo dyan is mga batas din. No? Ibig sabihin yung mga batas na nakalagay sa repealing clause na yan is hindi na sila angkop sa particular na batas na nandito. Bigyan ko ng example. 'Di ba sabi ko sa inyo, merong mga particular na batas na hindi na angkop sa panahon natin ngayon. So, there will be some amendments. Let's say, for example, yung batas na yan. Example lang to, ha. Let's say, si RA 123. Okay. Ginawa si RA 123, let's say, 89. Ngayon, si RA 123, guys, no, gi-amend siya. So, ibig sabihin amendment, ibig sabihin may changes. Okay? So, yung may mga changes dyan, meron na naman yan siya maggawa naman na, let's say for example, ang ginawa na amendment niya is PD 102. Okay? Sa PD 102, dito nakalagay yung mga amendments na para kay RA 123. So sa PD 102 nakalagay doon sa repealing clause niya lahat ng mga sections or mga batas na gina-amend niya. Okay? So ibig sabihin, ginasabi diyan na itong mga particular na sections na to or mga batas na to is dili na jud ni sila dili na ni sila applicable diri na batas kasi ito na yung latest natin. Okay? Yan yung ating repealing clause, no? All laws, decrees, executive orders, rules, and regulation, and consistent with the provisions of that particular act are hereby repealed, amended, or modified. Okay? So, next, we have the separability clause. Okay? So, sa separability clause, guys, no? Refers to a legal provision that states that if any part of a contract or law is found to be invalid or unenforceable, the remaining parts of the contract or law will still be valid and enforceable. If a part of the statute or the Republic Act is judicially declared as unconstitutional, no, the other portions of the statutes are not affected and are still in force and effect. So here, pasabot lang ani guys, let's say for example, ang isang batas po merong 32 sections, okay? If yung sections 5, 6, 7 does not apply to you, no, dili siya pwede sa particular situation na yan or particular case na yan, it does not mean the rest of the 32 sections, no, will be invalid. No, it's not that way. Here in separability clause, guys, no, pasabot ang ani, if kanang tawag yan, kung ano lang yung sections na mag-fit sa'yo, yun lang yung, the rest of the section will still be in force, okay, and in effect. Yung mga sections na hindi angkop sa situation na yan is, hindi na sila angkop, wala lang, yung ana. Okay? And last, no, we have the date of the effectivity. Okay, so I think very understandable naman, no? It provides for the date when the law will take into effect. Okay? So dito sa particular na ano na to guys, no, na effectivity date, usually makikita niyo to sila sa pinaka-last. Okay, sa pinaka-last part na siya. So if not to get specified, after 15 days following its publication in the official gazette or a newspaper of national circulation, it will take effect. Okay? So, let's say for example, tawag yan, if ever na wala nakalagay ng effectivity date kay, let's say, nakalimot sila or unsa ba, tawag yan, maging gyapon siya, maging valid gyapon siya 15 days following its publication. Okay? Sa official gazette. So, syempre, ma-print man yan, ipi-print man talaga yan. So, whatever law man good na magawa, guys, na dati, gina-print yan siya sa newspaper. But nowadays, gina-upload na lang nila. Okay, so yan yung ating titingnan usually sa pinaka-last ito eh. So sa ating RA 5527, ang section 32 natin is the date of effectivity. Okay? So let's proceed sa next slide. Here in this slide, we're going to talk about the type of cases, okay? So meron lang tayong 3 types of cases guys sa ating batas, no? So each individual case will be categorized into 3, no? Either into 3. Okay? We have administrative cases, civil cases, and criminal cases. So when we talk about administrative cases, guys, here it refers, the way I understand it, it refers to the mga kaso good guys na within an institution or like for example sa trabaho, yan yung mga administrative cases, no. So here the penalties are ito as follows: reprimand, suspension, or dismissal. Kung mapansin niyo guys, so dili siya nga though severe man jud man dismiss, pero it refers ka ng more on sa institution ba. Let's say for example, ako teacher against let's say my co-teacher, teacher against my students against co-teacher, ingana siya. So that is an example of an administrative case basta nasa workplace. Okay, workplace and work co-workmates ba, kanang mga workers kanang involved, ingana siya, whether it is the admin against the employee against the admin, that is an administrative case. Okay, example niyan, if sa laboratory kay medtech versus medtech versus nurse, medtech versus the doctors, yan, the HR, nga na. For the civil cases naman guys, no, it refers to when a party violates the right of another. Okay? So when a party violates the right of another, so here kanang sa labas na tayo, no, kasi ganito guys, pa nasa labas na tayo ng classroom, that is a we are all considered civilians. Okay? So here, the penalties may be damages, no, fees, costs, restriction of rights, no, and then the proof needed here is a superior weight of evidence. Ibig sabihin, dapat merong evidence. So if na-feel ninyo guys, no, sa laba outside, that your right has been violated, you can file for a civil case. Okay? Basta involved ng civilian guys, civil case na ang tawag dyan. Okay? Let's say for example, medtech versus the patient. So that is a civil case because there is a civilian involved. The right of the patient has been, no, violated, no, by the medtech, or meron na nangyari talaga na nagawa ng medtech. That is a civil case. Okay? Remember ha, medtech versus medtech, administrative. Patient versus the medtech or nurse or doctor, that is a civil case. Kasi involved ang civilian. Ngayon naman, the criminal case guys, na these are yung mga involved yung mga felonies natin. It means meron talaga nangyari, no, na killing, yung mga meron talagang crime. Okay? So kahit na sir, let's say the medtech versus patient, pero pinatay ni patient si medtech, criminal case na yan siya guys. Dili na siya civil case. Okay, that is a criminal case. Sa criminal case guys, dili na papasok dira atong civilian ka versus civilian versus yung naka-uniform, dili na siya inana. Pag may pinatay ka, may ginawa ka, no? Tandaan, no, the state prosecutes a person for an act or omission punishable by law. Okay, so may ginawa ka talagang kasalanan, no? Nakapanakit ka na. That is a criminal case, no? Nakapatay ka. The penalties here are imprisonment, damages, restriction of rights, di ba? Fees and costs in ana. So the proof needed here for the criminal case is proof of guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Okay? Proof of guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Ibig sabihin, pasabot ana, nag-undergo ka ng trial, you presented your evidences and other things, lahat-lahat ng mga evidence na pwede mo mapakita, pero guilty ka talaga. Okay? So ibig sabihin yung pagiging guilty mo, wala na jud siya kanang dili na pwede for retrial, dili na siya inana, no? Ibig sabihin guilty jud ka, naadyo ka gibuhat. Okay? So that is yung ating 3 types of cases. Okay? So bigyan ko pa ng emphasis itong proof of guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Okay? So when say guilt beyond reasonable doubt guys, no, wala na jud kanang sala jud nimo inana. So I hope, no, as you go through in life, sana dili mo hindi mo kayo maka-experience ng ganitong verdict from the judge na I hereby declare tak Robin Padilla guilty beyond reasonable doubt of killing blah blah blah. So ibig sabihin wala na jud, tanan na jud na nabuhat ng tanan sa korte para i-try na i-prove yung innocence niya, pero guilty jud siya. Okay? Here, remember, mere suspicion of the guilt of the accused, no matter how strong, should not sway judgment against him. It further means that the courts should duly consider every evidence favoring him, and in that process, the courts should persistently insist that the accusation is synonymous with guilt. Hence, every circumstance favoring his innocence should be fully taken into account. So, tingnan nyo, circumstances favoring his innocence should be fully taken into account. Ibig sabihin, ginawa na talaga lahat. Ginawa na lahat during the trial. Okay? Pero guilty lang jud siya. Okay? Without the proof of his guilt beyond reasonable doubt, therefore, the presumption of innocence in favor of the accused herein was not overcome. His acquittal should follow. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yan, yung kanyang pagiging innocente sa situation na yan is kahit na nandun lahat ng evidence, no, yung kanang jud, kasi sala jud nimo. Ibig sabihin, ito yung pinakamahirap ipataw ng judge. Okay? So, kapag ang judge nagpataw ng sinabi niya na guilt beyond reasonable doubt, it means that is the final na jud. So, lahat ba binibigyan ng guilt beyond reasonable doubt? Hindi naman lahat, guys. Hindi lahat. Yung mga cases, guys, na let's say sinabi wala nagpataw ang judge ng guilty beyond reasonable doubt, it means you can still file for a retrial. Ingana siya. Okay? So, siya, guys, makulong ka pa din, but pwede ka mag-retrial. Okay? Kasi once na nagpataw ng judge ng guilt beyond reasonable doubt, hindi ka na pwede magkaparol. Ganun siya, guys. So, that's why it's a heavy burden sa ating judiciary. Okay? So, hindi na siya basta-basta nagpataw. Okay? So, we also have different types of damages, diba? Kaya nakita man ninyo yung kanina dito, we have the penalties, no? So, the different types of damages, guys, so please do memorize these things, and internalize, no? So, we have actual or compensatory, no? Is awarded in satisfaction of or in recompense for the loss or injury sustained. They simply make good or replace the loss caused by the wrong. So, here, in the actual or compensatory, basically, kung ano yung nawala sa'yo, ano yung nanakaw sa'yo, yun din yung ibabalik sa'yo. For the moral, awarded to enable the injured party to obtain means, diversions, or amusements that will serve to alleviate the moral suffering. Remember, alleviate the moral suffering he has undergone by reason of the defendant's culpable action. Ibig sabihin, dito, yung reward na makuha mo is to alleviate your, since naka-encounter ka man ng moral suffering, no, pwede ka mag-demand dito ng kung ano yung feeling mo, maka-alleviate ng moral suffering mo. Let's say for example, ang i-demand mo sa kanila na napanalo is trip to Japan. O kasi sabi mo, yun yung makaano ng moral suffering mo, then yun talaga ibibigay sa'yo ng court. No? So, depende na siya guys kung ano yung mapapanalunan mo or gina-file ninyo no, na compensation nga na siya. We also have the exemplary or corrective imposed. Diba? This is imposed by way of example or correction for the public good. So dito, ang types of damages guys, no, yung makuha mo dito guys, is kanang ang court ang mag-decide kung ano yung makuha mo dito. No? Let's say for example, sinira yung image mo, tapos magsabi ang court na ang ma-rewardan ka, in a sense na si kalaban, okay, yung natalo ng kalaban is ayusin yung image mo, no, mag-public apology siya or sa ba, yung ana. We also have the liquidated, no, those agreed upon by the parties to a contract to be paid in case of breach thereof. So let's say for example, ako as employee of SPC, we do have our contracts. So if the contract has been breached by me, no, naka-stay talaga doon kung magkano yung babayaran ko, yun, that's why dili pa ako mag-resign sa, no. Next sem na siguro. After this sem. Char. Okay, next we also have the temperate, no, may be recovered when pecuniary. Now, when say pecuniary loss, guys, no, pecuniary means money, okay, has been suffered, but the amount cannot, from the nature of the case, be proven with certainty. So, ibig sabihin, here sa temperate, guys, is nawalan ka ng pera, pero hindi nyo alam kung magkano. Okay? Hindi nyo alam kung magkano. Paano ba yan, sir? Let's say, for example, kanang kanang mga cash, talaga na bag, yung kanang nakabag na cash, tapos nanakaw, hindi mo alam magkano laman nun. Okay? So, pwede yun siya guys, no? Ang, yun yung i-file na damages niyo, temperate. Okay? And then, we also have the nominal. Small sums, when say nominal, ibig sabihin, small, maliliit lang. Small sums fixed by the court without regard to the extent of the harm done to the injured party. Damages in the name only in recognition of a technical injury based on a violation of the legal right. So dito guys, sa nominal guys, ito yung hindi naman sa pinaka-worst, no, pero wala mo goy daog jud pagkaso-kaso. I mean kanang lahat mo goy nagsuffer ng trauma and all other things nga na. But in this case guys, ang nominal is halimbawa ang hinihingi mo for compensation kasi na-violate yung right mo, aside sa gusto mo na mag-public apology sila or unsa ba, naghingi ka ng 500,000. But you won the case, pero ang binigay lang sa as compensation is 100,000. In contrast sa 500 na hinihingi mo. 'Di ba? Masyadong mababa 'yun. But yun yung pasabot sa nominal. So if malala niyo, 'di ba, kila Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, gabi katagal natapos ang case nila, but ang nabigay lang kay Johnny Depp is hindi yung amount na hiningi niya ata, if I'm not mistaken. So may compensation po gani si Amber Heard that time, pero hindi lang din yung amount na hiningi niya. So ibig sabihin, nominal yung kanilang nakuha na reward, then nominal po itong damages na pataw sa ilaha. Okay? So ang habol naman ni Johnny Depp that time is hindi naman yung pera, but rather yung kanang image niya is maayos, yung ana siya. Okay? So, let's try to check, no, kanang an example of the law. Kanang, example of a case. Okay? So, ito ang case, guys, no? Ganito, titignan yung case natin. So, I want you all na pag magtingin kayo ng kaso ng ganito, gusto ko, maintindihan ninyo. So, there are things that you need to know kung sino-sino sila. Okay, by the way, this is a civil case, no? Civil case, Garcia versus Salvador. We have Garcia versus Salvador. Okay, so, ngayon, try natin na identify kung bakit siya naging civil case, okay? So, meron dito, Garcia, who is a medical technologist, so alam natin na nasa workplace, conducted HB-SAG, no, hepatitis B surface antigen test on October, blah, 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 indicating that Ranida is a patient, no, kasi medtech patient. So, medtech patient, civil case talaga, okay? So, ngayon, yung result na dito is reactive. Okay? But in this case, guys, kung titignan ninyo, the petitioners is yung medtech. The respondents is the patient. Bakit kaya? Which is, it should be the other way around, no? Dapat yung respondents ang nag-file ng case against the medtech. Pero bakit in this case is baliktad siya? Okay? Because this case is, ano na siya guys, kanang, tawag yan, review case na siya. Okay? Nag-file na ng case dati si Raneda, then binalik na naman, nag-retrial na naman. No? In this case, si Medtech na naman na nag-file. Okay, ganun siya guys. So, let's check for the terms that you need to know. Okay, we have the petitioner, the party who petitioned the Supreme Court to review the case. Okay, so ibig sabihin, dili na sila maagi sa kanang mga mga trial court because doon na galing doon na galing yung sa trial court yung sila pasyente Ngayon, the respondent is the party being sued or tried. Okay, so sa respondent guys is ikaw yung kinakasuhan dito. Okay, so we also have the general register, a number which will identify the case for record purposes. So in this case, this is the GR number. That's why all cases guys, once nagkaroon ka ng kaso or nagkaroon ka ng record, it will all be trackable, no? Makikita talaga siya, mag-appear dyan siya. Kaya if ikaw, meron ka masamang balak na gawin, wag mo nang subukan. Masisira ang buhay mo. Okay? We also have yung ating mga ponente, no? The opinion writer, the member of the court assigned to write opinion of the court. So, siya yung mag-take note ng mga secretary sa tanan-tanan. Okay? We also have the different types of opinion. We have the dissenting opinion. Remember sa dissenting, no? DIS, disagree. Okay? Dissenting opinion may be submitted by a member who disagrees with the majority opinion, its conclusion, and the disposition of the case. So, nag-disagree dyan siya. Ang separate opinion and concurring opinion, guys, these are opinions na can be submitted by a member that agrees. Okay? Pero yung kina-agreehan nila is magkaiba. Okay? Ang separate opinion submitted by a member who agrees, okay, agree gyapon siya with the result of the case, but based on different reasons or reasons na siya own reason niya, lahi iyang reason sa pag-agree niya sa kaso. Okay, sa verdict sa kaso. Ang concurring opinion naman will be submitted by a member who also agrees with the main opinion, but opts to express other reasons for concurrence. When we say, when we say concurrence, guys, no, okay, it refers to the fact of two or more events or circumstances happening or existing at the same time. So, ibig sabihin may mga nag-agree siya sa main opinion but meron siyang ibang gina-express na baka scenarios po, no. So iba lahi po iyang reason, no, na bakit siya nag-agree. Okay? So then in this case guys, ano ko ba kayo? I-spoil ba natin yung nangyari dito? Siguro hindi muna, no. Kasi nga ma-connect mo natin to sa empty loss. It's just now gusto ko lang talaga malaman ninyo kung anong titignan ninyo if makakita kayo ng ganito. Kasi guys, usually pag mga sa mga exam or sa assessment natin, hindi ko man sasabihin kung anong case 'yan. Kayo identify kung based sa nakasulat dito. Tinuruan ko lang kayo na nakita niyo medtech, tapos may nakita kayo Raneda. So ibig sabihin that is the patient, 'di ba? Okay? So yung mga basis sa situation or based sa mga nakalap natin na mga information, you can therefore conclude that this is a type of civil case. Nga na siya. So, ganun magtingin. Tignan niyo muna kung may GR number, tignan niyo kung sino ang petitioners, respondents, sino-sino yan sila, anong meaning ng case, i-understand kung ano yung decision na ginawa, ano yung kasos, ano talaga yung nangyari, ingana siya. Okay? So, we have for the next slide, we have multiple legislation in the Philippines, no? So, ito silang lahat, guys, mga lang to sila. I-memorize nyo talaga ninyo to, no? So, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, nag-start ang Constitution natin 1987, tama? So, 1987 pababa hanggang 1900s, meron ng mga batas na nagawa, So, ibig sabihin, yun yung content ng ating 1987. So, lahat ng historical cases will be related, can be found sa ating 1987. Okay? So, kita nyo 1900s, meron tayong 4,000 plus na law na nalagay. Okay? So, ang name pa ng stages na time is Acts. Hindi pa Republic Act, no? Acts number 19, ganyan. Then, we also have 1935 to 1941, the Commonwealth, no? Commonwealth Acts, meron tayong 733. We have the 1972, no? We have the Congress, okay, Republic Acts, yan siya. And then, if you can take a look, guys, so we have 1972 to 1986, di ba? Si Marcos ang ating legislator. Wala tayong senators, di ba? Kasi si Marcos na ang nag-iisa. That's why ang tawag sa kanya mga batas dito is presidential decrees. And tignan nyo naman, 2,000 plus ang nagawa ni Marcos, no? Napakarami. We also have the same year, no? We also have the batas pambansa, nagagawa rin sila ng mga batas, 891. And then, from 1986 to 1987, we have yung ating si Cory, no, as legislator. Okay? Kasi nga, ito na yung time na pinag-sick nila si Marcos. So nagawa sila ng ano kasi guys, Coy Aquino has been appoint to yan nagpa-appoint lang siya sa sarili niya with the help of the people power, no. Hindi siya nanumpa sa Malacanang. Basta sa ibang lugar siya nanumpa, guys, na siya ng bagong presidente ng Pilipinas, mga. That's why if you're going to take a look sa kanyang mga batas, ang tawag is the executive order. Okay? So executive orders na siya. Then trend rito nagawa niya. Up to present, ngayong present, guys, we have Republic Acts. Okay? So that is the Republic Acts. Okay? So we also have yung persons criminally liable for felony. So ito sila, guys, yung mga tao na I hope hindi kayo mapasali, no. We have the principal, so ibig sabihin sila jud, no, by direct participation, the principal. Now you can be a principal felony by induction or inducement, no. Those who directly force or induce others to commit it, words of inducement must be made prior to the commission of the crime. Let's say for example, sinusulan mo, sinabihan mo, patayin mo siya kasi hindi ko na siya gusto or pangit siya. Yan yung principals. Now you will become a principal tawag yan na felony. Okay? Another thing na para ma-consider as principal is by indispensable cooperation. Without the cooperation, the crime would not have been accomplished. So kung wala yung tulong mo, hindi talaga matuloy yung crime. Pero dahil since nandyan may yung tulong, because of your help, the crime has been committed. Therefore, you are a principal. Okay. Next, we have the accomplices. Accomplices cooperates in the execution by previous or simultaneous act intending to give material and moral aid. Okay? Accomplices, guys, is anything or anyone na tawag tumulong. Okay? Tumutulong, 'di ba? Hindi man ikaw directly na nagtulong sa kanya to commit the crime, but rather nagtulong ka kay itinago mo siya kasi mahal mo. Ingana no, tinago mo sa apartment mo muna, ingana after na commit yung crime, that you are already considered an accomplice. Okay? And then ito yung pinakamalala, accessories, no? With knowledge but no participation. So, alam mo yung crime, alam mo na nag-take effect yung crime, let's say for example, get-text ka or naka-receive ka ng picture, pero nagtahimik ka lang, or, ito pa, takes part only after the commission of the crime. Example, concealing or destroying the body of the crime. So, example, tinago mo talaga yung that you are considered an accessory, no? Accessory ka sa crime. Yung siya. Okay? So, there are certain penalties that can be mapataw sa ating mga felonies, no? Suffering, when say penalty, suffering inflicted by the state for the transgression of a law. Okay? Ito sila, guys, I hope dili ninyo ni sila ma-experience, no? Capital and afflictive penalties, and then correctional and light penalties. Light pa kasi 6 months to 6 years. Okay? So 6 years and above is considered as a capital and afflictive penalty. So I hope dili ninyo ni ma-experience, but need ninyo ni siya i-memorize. Okay? So, next, we have some terminologies here that I want you all to remember by heart. We have ito, ignorance of the law excuses no one. Ignorantia led his non-excusat. We also have the duralex sed lex, no? Duralex sed lex refers to the law is hard but it is the law. Okay, the law is hard but it is the law. And we also have the salus populi est suprema lex, which means marami siyang definition or meaning, but yung general idea is the welfare of the people is the supreme law. Okay, the welfare of the people is the supreme law. Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, 'di ba, yung first few part ng ating PowerPoint, para saan gani ang batas? Para sa tao, para sa ating lahat, para sa mga civilian, para sa ating lahat. So ibig sabihin, the welfare of the people is the supreme law. Okay? So thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you'd learn a lot sa ating introduction to law. I know it's quite lengthy, but you need to study, no, and understand everything na nabanggit ko dito. And please do read in advance, lalo na yung sa mga topics na nabigay na sa inyo, no. I-search na lang ninyo sa internet yung mga PDF copies nun. Mga batas yun sila. Okay, so have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. God bless.